Hello everybody, welcome back. So sorry I didn't get to make a video this morning. I would have loved to. I just, at the moment, I don't know if I've mentioned it a few times, my boiler is still broken. No one's even going to come out to look at it until tomorrow. So the missus and my 3-year-old have been staying at a hotel and leaving me and the baby in the cold house, basically. So that basically means I get no sleep at night time, and in the mornings I'm up before the sun is even considered poking around the hilltop. So I'm absolutely knackered. So I was out before the sunrise this morning in the car trying to drive this baby around to get her back to sleep. I say this baby, that's awful, my daughter that would be. So I did send a few messages on my Telegram saying that it's going to be a bit of a dumpy day. It looks a little bit dumpy, and those dumps I suppose might have already just played out. So I was trying to take shorts on XRP, and I got stopped on one, but then I made up for it with the last one I've just done. We just want to know, don't we, if it's going to come down further. Well, I think with the sentiment at the moment, I think dips are still likely to be bought. There's nothing specific to say that there's any tops in at the moment on Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's the one to look at. If we look at the Bitcoin dominance chart, it's actually coming down, which suggests that alts are probably going to be bought back up as well. So picking up, well, it's a risky business, obviously, we all know that crypto is a risky business, but with the chart looking like it's being rejected as it is and coming down beneath this here, I'll probably say that alts will also get bought back up as well. So the buying pressure is still strong, and it'll be strong, maybe even stronger with alts. So we're going to look at some alts. We're just going to look at XRP on this video. I'll make a few more videos on some of those others as well. So I mean, as we speak, we already are being bought up, so you don't really need me to tell you that. You've already seen that, and it looks as though we're still above the 10 exponential on Bitcoin, which is definitely good. Hitting this and breaking this area would be bearish, so we're talking about 17,500. If we close beneath there, or maybe a 4-hourly, but certainly a daily, I'd be looking to come down to test the center of the Bollinger Band, or the 20 simple moving average. So roughly about another $1,000 down, between 16,300, 16,500. But I don't think it would fall much further than that. But again, if that were to happen, then we'd have to look at some of these other indicators. So we'll go to the 4 hours to see how the 4-hourly looks. I'm conscious I'm slurring my speech, I'm so tired. Right, so 4-hourly, perfect bounce from the Bollinger Band here, and also we've got the green 50 exponential supporting us there. The MACD is not looking great. In fact, when we look at the histogram, it's expanding as well. So, but we're still in very bullish territory. There's no reason for us to consider this as likely to continue. The RSI came all the way down there. And again, we're above this cloud here. I do think that the buying pressure is still relatively strong, provided we hold that 17,500 area. Now, with something like XRP, which has rallied so dramatically over the last day, I mean, look at that candle, that was epic. So this morning I did say to people in the Telegram, it's up to you what you do, but I think it might be worth taking some profits. So I don't know if anyone did do that. It's okay if you didn't, because most of you, I believe, because we've been talking about XRP for a little while, have gotten at such a low price that I'd be very surprised to see it consolidate below where you've bought it from. But I do have something I want to kind of share with you, a bit of an idea, okay? So one of the reasons that I like the XRP chart is because it looks relatively predictable, okay? So this is a parabolic top, incremental steps down, up, smaller, and then I suppose a bit of an outlier there, but there was a reason for that, because we broke out of this descending trend here. So this essentially could have been this if it wasn't for that whole March situation, with the pandemic. But basically lower highs each time and lower lows each time. So nice steps all the way down, consolidating in a nice pattern. Looks nice to me. Do you know what I mean? So now what we're looking to see is the opposite take place. We're going to have a step up and a consolidation down, a step up and a consolidation down. So what I was looking at here, so on this chart here, we got this white 200 exponential, where essentially we get rejected from and rejected from. We broke above it here. This was also when the market was rallying last year. So XRP did rally from it, but it was very underwhelming. So in that instance, it did break above the 200 exponential, but generally speaking, we were rejected from it. This one rallied above it again, but came back down beneath it, rejected from it. Now what I'm looking to see is the opposite of that. And I know this might sound disappointing to those of you who love XRP, and I'm probably going to get a lot of hate from it, even though I'm on your side. I think it's probably going to come all the way down to the 200 exponential again before it does its next big rally, which means a consolidation phase similar to the one that we had after this last move. So we broke out here. This is like a 87% move, or roughly thereabouts anyway, and then we broke out, we came back down, bounced, bounce, and then we rallied. So we'll rally it, you know, from there, which was a 100% move. So, you know, we're all very happy because, like I say, I've been going on about this for a little while, that this sort of thing's going to happen. So now what I think is going to happen is that we'll just see how long this took from the top to essentially the bottom. That took 78 days. So we're talking 3.5 months, basically 2.5 months for that consolidation phase for the next pattern. So I'm not talking about time, you know, but time is definitely a good component, but it's difficult to time things. But just going off the last consolidation after this last big pump, which was a big pump, it's 2.5 months. So it's only reasonable to assume that I believe now that we will likely consolidate relatively slowly and surely, with nice pumps in between, because these were decent pumps here. You know, they're coming down to the center of the Bollinger Band there, nice big pump there, 22%. Again, you know, hitting the 200 exponential here, and sort of, I suppose that they don't look that big here, do they? But they are. They are relatively predictable areas to be buying at, 10% or whatever. Anyway, that is my expectation of this chart. Now, where's the question is now at this point, where's the 200 exponential going to be at the time that we touch it? Well, if it takes 2 months, it's very difficult for me to map this out, because this is going to be moving up quite dramatically anyway if the price action remains up here for the next few, well, definitely days and maybe weeks. Don't think we'll be looking for a giant dump anytime soon. So I'll, as an educated guess, and this isn't really anything how you should be doing it, an educated guess is that I think the 200 exponential is going to look a little bit in this kind of trajectory. So that's not the worst thing in the world. That might be a little bit too steep, but that's kind of the sort of idea that I'm thinking of. Okay, so what we'll be looking to do is sort of, I suppose, consolidate down to touch it and then reaccumulate from it, and that'll probably, this is looking awful, this will probably level the 200 exponential out a little bit more. That is just dreadful, sorry, but hopefully my idea is coming across to you. I don't think the next big pump is coming until we come back down to test the 200 exponential, and because we've had such a giant move now, this is going to bend up quite rapidly. But if this starts coming down, it'll start to tail off, and only when I think the next buyback for me anyway, or the next long that I take on this one for the big one, will be only when we come down to touch it. And the reason I say that again is because the chart in itself on this daily time frame is reasonably predictable in its incremental steps down, and hopefully at this point on its incremental steps up. Jeez, man. Oh my god. Lack of sleep. You know, kids, they're brilliant. You know, I love kids, but sleep. I do like sleep as well. So basically, I'll get rid of this mess. It looks like a chicken's foot on here, and it's not really helping anyone. But that is the idea, okay? So that is what I'm expecting. So that's an enormous move in itself. It will need to consolidate from that, and I wouldn't feel comfortable buying it back until it touches the 200 exponential on the daily chart, because this is generally how this chart works. It is a clean, crisp, nice chart, and that's why I talk about it so frequently, because with construction or consolidation or any component to any chart, you want predictability, and this has had predictability on the way down. I'm expecting predictability on the way up. It's just going to take a bit of patience, all right? So we've done our move now, you know, and if you want to hold on to your tokens, feel free to do that, because in my understanding of this chart is that we will surpass our all-time highs. So all allocations down at this area are still good for the long run. If you want to take profit, that's your deal. It's completely up to you, but me personally, I hold a bag, and I'm going to hold it, you know, because I'm not going to try and guess tops and stuff. Even though I did see a dump coming today, it's not really worth me, you know, buying and selling on spot. I'll take longs and shorts, but you know, a bag is a bag, you know, and I'll keep that, because I believe in the long-term cycle of this. When it plays out, it will be pretty big. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough, but in summary to what I'm saying is that, yeah, the big pump has happened and the consolidation might take up to 2.5 months, and then when it's finished, it'll be coming down to rest of 200 exponential, wherever that may be at the time. And then maybe buy some more back or go long on those areas for another big move. Doesn't mean that it's going to happen immediately. I mean, it didn't happen immediately here. We consolidated and reaccumulated and then launched, but that's generally the deal with XRP. That's what I'm expecting, and that would be my strategy for this one over the next few months. So enjoy what happened, enjoy that big move. It's a sign of things to come, but also you don't try and get too clever with it. This chart, you need patience to trade with the XRP chart. Yeah, clearly, you need patience. I mean, look at this chart, and patience is something that I'm very good with. So that's the long-term deal. Anyway, thank you for watching. Join the Telegram. Hope you have a nice weekend and take it easy.